I'm Mara Davi. I play Maggie in the chorus line.
Yes, everything was beautiful at the ballet, at the ballet, at the ballet.
Well, I grew up in Colorado. My mom put me into dance class because that's what you do with little girls. I really took to it.
Show me second position.
I was all into the old movie musicals, Gene Kelly, my hunk of a man. I was so in love with him. That's where my passion for performing came from. My sister and I and our best friends would put on shows. We would rig curtains in our game room and lift them up and take them down, and our futon was the stage that we would perform on. It was weird when I saw Cats, because I had choreographed the whole thing in my bedroom, and I went, this isn't what I did at all. I did my first show, my first acting role when I was 8 years old in a church musical, and then right after that did Annie, which is, most every little girl's first musical theater experience. I was Davi. I had 4 lines, and I still remember 2 of them at least. Can't anybody get any sleep around here? Yeah, and I yelled it out at the top of my lungs because that was projection. Just, can't anybody get any sleep? It was great. I did community theater all through childhood and high school. I got to be Sandy in Grease and Maria in West Side Story. I mean, things that, I wouldn't get to do probably in, a professional theater on Broadway, so it was fantastic to get the opportunity. As Eliza Doolittle.
One day I'll be famous, I'll be proper and free. Down to say, James so often, I will call it sight you.
Everyone knew my goal, Broadway. That's like, and not really, at that point, not even TV and film. I was like, I am going to New York. This is gonna happen for me at some point. And so everyone knew that was Mara Davi. That's what she wanted. That's what I've always wanted. They were holding auditions for 42nd Street, and I freaked out. I mean, this is the show that I always wanted to do. Peggy Sawyer was the role I'd always wanted to play. So I went to the open call in Los Angeles and just tried to be as Peggy Sawyer as possible. It was a whirlwind. I was just a sophomore in college, and suddenly I was the lead on a national tour.
On the avenue I'm taking you
to. My sister just finished the tour of 42nd Street. She replaced me in the show when I left, and now my sister and I are living together in New York and both trying to make it in this business. My mom misses us very much, but she's crazy proud, and I think we're all just overwhelmed that this really far out dream that we had is actually happening. My parents just are crying all the time. They're so happy and so supportive. I ended up doing the show in college, which was thrilling. I wanted to be Maggie so bad, and I was cast as Cassie. I was like, well, okay, I guess I have to play Cassie, that'll be okay. But now I finally get my chance to do the part I've always wanted to play. But I can't even imagine auditioning for the show for 6 months, because those 6 days were the most stressful 6 days I've ever had. I went to that first call, there were 16 girls there, and I danced and I sang and I read, and I felt really good about it, and they told me I was to come to the final callback. So I only had to do that audition and the final callback. But my agent also told me that they said I needed to get my butt in the air on my leaps, and I had to get sharper turns or I would be cut right away. I spent the 4 months between auditions and our rehearsals thinking that I was going to get fired the first day, because they'd only seen me twice, and that, you know, they didn't know me and I was gonna get there and they were gonna go, what were we thinking? But they knew what they were doing, I guess.
Yes, everything was beautiful at the ballet. I was pretty, I was happy, I would love to.
I keep thinking everyone knows the show and they're just going to be judging it based on the original, but I keep talking to people who say, I've never seen the show before, always wanted to. I'm like, you get to see the way it was, you know, meant to be, the way it was done originally. It's very exciting. I get to stretch and use all of my skills every night. I get to sing through my full range, which is exhilarating. I get to do every style of dance, and then when it comes to acting, I just get to be myself. I bring so much of my life and myself to this character. Right now, my favorite moment in the show is when Deanna is talking about watching all of the girls come out of the stage door with their eyelashes and their makeup on. I mean, what she's saying at that point is so true. I remember being that little girl as well. But also, that is a point where I get to look around the stage, and it's when everyone is at their most vulnerable, and I just fall in love with every one of the characters on stage. Like, that moment right now is the most moving moment to me.